The police broke through the hotel room door at 11:23. I was already live streaming. A million people watched me stand beneath the crystal lights of the Grand Regent Hotel while Damien Cross, two-time winner of the Halcyon Award for Best Actor, dragged a white comforter over his bare chest. The woman beside him screamed and disappeared under the same blanket. Her red dress lay across the floor. One silver heel rested near the minibar. The other was beside Damien's wedding ring. I held my phone steady. Make sure you can see his face, I told the viewers. Damien Cross, married, filmed at the Grand Regent on August 15th. Comments flew across the screen too quickly to read. Damien's shirt is inside out. Is that really him? Someone save the stream. Where is his wife? The woman under the blanket made the mistake of looking up. My boyfriend's younger sister stared straight into the camera. Sienna Cole. Her engagement party was scheduled for the following month. The viewer count jumped again. Behind me, hotel security shouted for everyone to step back. Guests in robes crowded the hallway. One man filmed through the gap in his door while his wife whispered that she had always known Damien was a fraud. Then two Northbridge police officers entered. The lead officer reached for my phone. Ma'am, shut down the broadcast. I turned the camera toward myself. My name is Lena Ward. It is 11:24 at night. I entered room 1217 without permission and damaged the lock. I am remaining here voluntarily until police take custody of me. The officer stared. Give me the phone. I smiled into the lens. Please arrest me quickly. I've been waiting for this. He took the device. The stream ended. For a few seconds, nobody moved. Damien Cross looked furious. Sienna looked terrified. The officers looked as though they had walked into the wrong kind of emergency. I extended both wrists. Handcuffs are fine. The younger officer glanced at his partner. Is she intoxicated? No, I said. I'm allergic to alcohol. That was not a question for you. Then test me. The lead officer's nameplate read Marcus Hale. He had the tired eyes of a man who had already spent too many years watching people make bad decisions after midnight. Ms. Ward, do you understand that forcing entry into an occupied hotel room and live streaming private individuals may expose you to criminal trespass, property damage, harassment, and privacy charges? Yes. Then why are you acting pleased? Because in my first life, at 12:30 that same night, my boyfriend and my closest friend killed a 5-year-old boy. Ryan Cole was a struggling actor. Vanessa Blake was the woman I had trusted since college. They drank at a private club, took my car, and raced down Mercer Avenue in heavy rain. Noah Moore stepped into the crosswalk holding his mother's hand. Vanessa struck him hard enough to throw his small body beneath a streetlight. They did not call for help. They moved him away from the vehicle, wiped the steering wheel, stole my jewelry, copied my voice, altered camera footage, and built a case around me. By sunrise, every piece of evidence said I had been driving. I spent 18 years in prison. My parents sold their home to pay for lawyers. My father died outside an appeals courthouse after collapsing from exhaustion. My mother died less than a year later. When I was finally released on a procedural review, I spent 5 years trying to prove what happened. Sienna gave the false witness statement that destroyed the last of my defense. She claimed she saw me drunk near Mercer Avenue shortly before the crash. Years later, I learned where she had really been. In bed with Damien Cross. When I confronted her, Ryan and Vanessa came to her apartment. The three of them threw me from a balcony. I died before I reached the ambulance. Then I opened my eyes on the morning of August 15th, back in my own bed. 28 years old. My parents alive. Noah alive. At least for a few more hours. I knew I could not prevent the collision without warning Ryan and Vanessa that I remembered. If they changed locations, vehicles, or victims, I might lose the only chance to expose them. So I created the one thing they could not fabricate around me. An alibi witnessed by millions. Officer Hale waited for my answer. Ms. Ward? I looked at the hotel clock. 11:26. Because I want every part of tonight documented. Damien shoved past an officer. She broke into my room and broadcast me half naked. My career is finished. I want her charged with everything possible. His voice climbed as more cameras appeared in the hallway. She destroyed my image, my contracts, my marriage. Sienna remained beneath the blanket. I caught her eyes. She knew I was not there for Damien. I had chosen that room because I needed publicity strong enough to keep me inside a monitored police facility through the crash. Exposing Damien was the spark. Exposing Sienna was a bonus. Officer Hale read me my rights. I listened carefully. Then he cuffed me. The metal closed around my wrists. For the first time since returning to life, I felt safe. The police station became a circus before midnight. Damien arrived with his attorney, his manager, and 2 publicists. Sienna arrived wearing a hotel robe beneath a coat. She screamed at me in the booking lobby while reporters gathered outside. "You're dating my brother. Why would you do this to me?" "Because you were in the room. You knew I was there?" "Yes." Her face changed. "You planned it." Officer Hale stepped between us. "Ms. Cole, sit down." Damien paced behind the front desk. "I want her held. No citation release. No friendly warning. She committed a deliberate attack." His attorney pulled him aside. "Stop speaking publicly." Damien ignored him. "She is a gossip reporter. She planned this for attention. I worked for Spotlight Wire, an entertainment news outlet known for exposing studio disputes, false charities, hidden sponsorships, and occasionally affairs. Most celebrity relationships did not interest me. Tonight, I needed the largest audience I could create in 1 minute. Damien's scandal had already overtaken every entertainment feed in the city. His fans began filling the station lobby. Some cried. Some cursed me. One young woman tried to jump the security barrier. "You ruined him." Officers escorted her outside. Another shouted at Damien. "You told us your wife was your reason for everything." He covered his face. His publicists stopped answering calls. Officer Hale took my statement in an interview room. "You entered with a copied hotel key. A freelance production assistant sold it to me. That person may be charged." I provided the name and messages. "You damaged the chain latch." "Yes." "You live-streamed without consent." "Yes." "You threw coffee on Mr. Cross's manager in the hallway." He grabbed my phone. "That does not make coffee a lawful response." "No." "He studied me." "You understand the conduct." "I do." "Yet you refuse immediate release." "I am requesting to remain until formal arraignment." "You cannot order the department to jail you." "I know." "You also cannot manufacture detention because you find it convenient." I leaned forward. "I committed intentional misdemeanor conduct in front of witnesses. Mr. Cross is demanding charges. There are crowd control concerns outside. I am willing to sign a waiver declining release until counsel arrives." Officer Hale's gaze sharpened. "What happens at 12:30? My heart stopped. He saw it. Not the truth. The fear. "What are you expecting?" "I expect people to lie about where I was tonight." "Who?" "I cannot tell you yet." "That makes no sense." "It will." He sat back. "I am ordering a breath test." "Good." "And a blood draw if medical staff agree it is necessary." "Good." "You are the first person I have met who sounds relieved by that." At 11:58, a nurse recorded my blood alcohol level as 0. At 12:15, an officer photographed the coffee stain on my sleeve. At 12:26, 3 cameras showed me arguing with Damien's attorney in the main lobby. At 12:30, Officer Hale and 2 others stood beside me while a nurse took blood for a toxicology screen after I complained that someone might later claim I had used drugs. I wanted timestamps, faces, body camera footage, chain of custody. No room for memory to become a debate. My parents arrived at 1:10. My mother pressed both hands through the visitor partition. "Lena, we can post whatever they ask." Her fingers were cold. My father stood beside her with his jaw clenched. "What were you thinking?" He was angry because he was alive enough to be angry. In my first life, I watched him eat a stale sandwich outside the appellate court because every dollar went to my case. He bowed to lawyers who stopped returning his calls. He begged reporters to read the evidence. Now he turned toward Damien Cross, who sat across the lobby with a legal team. My father lowered his head. "Mr. Cross." My daughter acted recklessly. "We will pay for the door and cooperate." Pain moved through me like a blade. Dad, don't. He looked at me. I raised you better than this. I know. Then let us take you home. I'm not leaving tonight. My mother's eyes filled. Why? Because I need to stay exactly where I am. She squeezed the phone receiver. Are you afraid someone will hurt you? Yes. That answer ended their anger. My father stepped closer to the glass. Tell us what is happening. Not yet. Lena, please trust me until morning. He hated it. So did my mother. But they stayed. At 2:28, Officer Hale appeared near the booking desk. You said someone would lie. I checked the wall clock. Give it 2 minutes. At 2:31, the station doors opened. Ryan Cole rushed in first. His hair was wet from rain. Sweat darkened the collar of his shirt. Vanessa followed. Her mascara had run just enough to make her look shattered. Ryan placed both hands on the public counter. I need to report a fatal hit and run. The noise in the station changed. Reporters near the entrance lifted their cameras. Officer Hale looked at me. I said nothing. Ryan continued. A child was struck on Mercer Avenue at 12:30. I saw the driver. His face turned toward me. It was Lena. Silence spread through the lobby. Vanessa stepped beside him. We tried to stop her. Officer Hale removed his glasses. You are reporting that Lena Ward drove a vehicle on Mercer Avenue at 12:30? Yes. You're certain? Ryan's expression became solemn. I wish I wasn't. Behind him, one reporter slowly raised a phone. Then another. They had been camped outside since the hotel scandal. They knew I had never left. Vanessa held out her phone. I have proof. Officer Hale did not take it immediately. What kind? A voice message. She tapped the screen. My voice came through the speaker, shaking with sobs. Vanessa, I think I hit someone. I was drinking. There was a child. What do I do? Should I leave before anyone sees me? A child's moan sounded faintly in the background. My mother gripped the visitor phone. My father's face went white. Ryan lowered his eyes for the cameras. I loved her. I still do. But a 5-year-old boy is dead. His voice broke in exactly the right place. The actor who could barely remember 3 lines in a commercial had found extraordinary range. Vanessa displayed photographs. In one, I leaned against an unknown man while holding a glass of amber liquid. The butterfly-shaped birthmark beneath my collarbone was visible. The embedded time read 12:10. Another image showed my car near Mercer Avenue. A third showed my hand on the steering wheel. I don't drink, I said. Vanessa turned toward me. You live in bars because sources give you gossip when they're drunk. I'm allergic to alcohol. Then what are these? Fabricated. Her eyes filled. I kept defending you. You are framing me. She looked hurt. A perfect performance. Ryan addressed the reporters. I never wanted her career to turn her into this. Lena used to be kind. Damian Cross moved away from his attorney. I can confirm Ms. Ward was at the station from before midnight until now. Everyone turned. Damian looked exhausted and furious. This is not a favor. She committed serious misconduct against me, and I intend to pursue it. He held up his phone. At 11:23, she streamed herself breaking into my room. At 11:49, I recorded her throwing coffee on my manager. From then until now, she has been in police custody. Someone laughed. Damian's glare cut across the lobby. The laugh stopped. One fan near the door shouted, Damian may cheat, but he doesn't lie. Another answered, that is not the defense you think it is. Officer Hale pressed both hands to the counter. Mr. Cole, Ms. Blake, we have continuous station video, officer body cameras, booking records, and a blood collection showing Ms. Ward here at 12:30. Ryan glanced toward the reporters for the first time. He had not known the hotel story brought them inside the station. Sienna stood near Damian's legal team. Her face had gone gray. Ryan saw her. His confusion lasted only a second. Then Sienna stepped toward him. Ryan. He grabbed her arm. What are you doing here? She slapped him. The sound cracked through the lobby. You sent me to get close to Damian. Every camera turned. You said if his marriage blew up and the studio dropped him, you could replace him in Crown Light's new film. Ryan's face burned. Shut up. You promised no one would ever know. Damien looked at both of them. His humiliation became rage. Sienna saw the cameras and covered her mouth too late. Ryan's plan had relied on her giving a false statement about seeing me near the crash. Instead, she had spent the entire night on police video with the man she was supposed to help destroy. He had lost one witness before he knew the case began. Vanessa recovered faster. The station video proves Lena was here at 12:30. She wiped her face. It does not explain the road footage. She handed Officer Hale a printed packet. A traffic investigator sent us this. The cover carried the emblem of the Northbridge Regional Collision Bureau. Inside was a still image from a road camera. My face appeared behind the wheel of my car. The timestamp read 12:28. A white sedan with my plate crossed Mercer Avenue in heavy rain. Ryan unfolded a second page. The vehicle was recovered 3 blocks away. Lena's fingerprints are on the wheel. Her blood is on an earring beside the driver's seat. Vanessa removed a clear evidence pouch from her bag. Inside was one of my diamond earrings. The initials LW were engraved inside the setting. I had not seen it in weeks. Ryan must have taken it from my apartment. My parents stared at the packet. Even Damien looked uncertain. Officer Hale held out his hand. Where did you get that evidence bag? A collision investigator gave it to us. That is not how evidence is released. 2 men entered the lobby. Both wore dark jackets with bureau patches. One carried a hard case. The older man showed a credential wallet. Regional Collision Bureau. We have a detention request for Lena Ward. Officer Hale did not move. Name and badge number. Detective Paul Mercer. 417. The younger man produced a flash drive. Dash camera. Blood screen report. Witness statements. Road video. The child was pronounced dead at the scene. My mother began to cry. A reporter whispered, "How can she be in 2 places?" Ryan looked at me with practiced grief. Lena, tell the truth. For one brief moment, fear returned. The fabricated road video was better than I remembered. In my first life, there had been no public alibi strong enough to force people to question it. Now the contradiction was visible. That made the lie more dangerous, not less. If they had built evidence capable of defeating police custody records, someone with access had helped them. Officer Hale examined the older man's credential. Then he looked toward the station supervisor. Call the Collision Bureau through the official directory. The older man stiffened. That is unnecessary. It is mandatory. We have an urgent transfer order. Officer Hale took one step closer. Place the case on the counter. The younger man's hand moved toward his jacket. 3 officers shifted at once. He stopped. I stood. I have something to add. Every face turned. 3 days ago, I interviewed Traffic Officer Nolan Reeves on Mercer Avenue about the city's broken camera backlog. Officer Hale watched me carefully. The primary municipal camera at the crash intersection was out of service. Ryan's mouth curved almost invisibly. That is why whoever planned this chose the location. Vanessa's hand closed around the counter. I continued. Officer Reeves installed a temporary night vision unit on the streetlight. It records video and ambient audio to a secure traffic server. Vanessa spoke too quickly. There is no temporary camera. The room became still. I looked at her. How would you know? Her fingernail snapped against the edge of the counter. Ryan's face drained. Officer Hale picked up the station phone. Get traffic operations. Official number only. The older fake investigator moved backward. An officer blocked the door. Minutes later, the traffic recording appeared on the station monitor. Rain blurred the first image. Then headlights entered the frame. My white sedan crossed the intersection at high speed. The plate matched mine. The person behind the wheel was not me. Vanessa leaned forward over the steering wheel, laughing. Ryan sat in the passenger seat with his phone raised. His voice came through the audio feed. Faster. The city camera is dead. The crosswalk signal changed. Helen Moore stepped forward with Noah's hand in hers. The impact happened too fast. A small blue raincoat disappeared beneath the hood. The lobby went silent. Vanessa screamed. Not in grief. In fury. Turn it off. Officer Hale stopped the video before the child's body returned to frame. The next segment showed Ryan pulling Vanessa from the driver's seat. They opened the rear door. A equipment case appeared. Ryan wiped the steering wheel and pressed a silicone fingerprint film against it. Vanessa took something from her pocket. My earring. She smeared it with blood collected from a cut on Ryan's hand and dropped it beside the seat. Then the two of them looked directly toward the broken municipal camera. They never noticed the black device above it. Ryan whispered, "We have 20 minutes. Vanessa replied, "The face file is ready." The road image showing me behind the wheel had been generated after the crash, not captured during it. Officer Hale looked at the two men in bureau jackets. "Hands on your heads." The older one ran. He made it 3 steps. Officers took him to the floor. The younger man began removing his wig while swearing that he had been hired for a performance. The older man's false age makeup smeared across his cheek. Reporters filmed every second. Ryan pointed at Vanessa. She was driving. Vanessa turned on him. "You planned the frame. You killed the child. You erased the vehicle data. You made the voice recording. You stole Lena's jewelry. You told me she would take the blame." Their alliance lasted exactly as long as their confidence. Officer Hale ordered everyone separated. Ryan fought the cuffs. Vanessa screamed my name. "You set us up." I stepped close enough for her to hear. "No." I stayed where witnesses could see me. The difference mattered. I had not made them drink. I had not put my car key in Ryan's hand. I had not forced them to leave a dying child on the road. I had only made it impossible for their lie to become my life. The station lights were painfully bright. My heart beat slowly. In my first life, every person in that room looked at me as a killer. In this one, the truth had arrived before the trial. Police arrested Ryan and Vanessa on charges connected to the collision, leaving the scene, evidence tampering, conspiracy, fraud, and obstruction. The men posing as investigators were arrested for impersonation, forged documents, and conspiracy. A later search found that a civilian police records technician had provided badge formats, internal report templates, and restricted access information. He had also helped Ryan identify gaps in the traffic camera system. Sienna was interviewed separately. She admitted Ryan pressured her to seduce Damien and create a scandal that might remove him from an upcoming film. She had not known about the collision plan. She had lied for Ryan in other matters. Her affair became public anyway. Her engagement ended. Damien's marriage entered divorce proceedings. His contracts contained morality and disclosure clauses. Several sponsors canceled. Crownlight Studios suspended him from the film Ryan wanted. None of that made Damien a hero. He told the truth about my alibi because the truth was visible and because he hated the people trying to use him. Sometimes the right evidence comes from an imperfect witness. My hotel case remained. I pleaded to misdemeanor trespass, property damage, and unlawful recording. The court imposed a fine, restitution for the door, probation, and community service. I did not become innocent merely because my recklessness saved me from a worse lie. That mattered too. My parents drove me home after my release. My mother held my hand the entire way. My father did not speak until we reached the apartment. Then he turned off the engine. "You knew." "Yes." "How?" "I can't explain it in a way you'll believe." "Try." So I told them. Not every detail. Enough. A previous life. A conviction. Years of appeals. Their deaths. The balcony. My father stared through the windshield. My mother cried without sound. When I finished, he asked, "Did I fail you?" "No. You died believing we couldn't save you. You spent everything trying." He covered his face. My mother leaned across the console and pulled both of us together. "This time," she whispered, "we are all still here." For several weeks. It seemed as if the nightmare had ended. Ryan and Vanessa remained in pretrial custody. The records technician agreed to cooperate. Prosecutors prepared a case built on the temporary traffic video, vehicle telematics, phone locations, forged files, witness statements, and the staged evidence. Helen Moore received confirmation that Noah had not died because of me. That did not bring him back. I wanted to contact her. My attorney advised against it while the case remained open. So I waited. Then Detective Hale called at 3 in the morning. Ryan Cole and Vanessa Blake escaped during a medical transfer. I sat up. What? A transport van was diverted after a false emergency. One corrections officer is missing. We believe someone inside helped. They'll come for me. We agree. My parents lived 10 minutes away. I called them before fear could take control. By sunrise, they were on a flight to Belmere, where an old friend of my father owned a small coastal hotel. The tickets were real. The itinerary was not public. Police placed my apartment under surveillance. Detective Hale wanted me moved to a protected location. I refused at first. Then they disappear. I said, they will look for you whether you are visible or not. That doesn't mean you become bait. I already am. We argued until his supervisor ended the conversation. The final plan belonged to police, not me. I moved into a different apartment under surveillance while continuing a public routine through scheduled posts and delayed location updates. My social media showed work, coffee, and late shifts. Every post was approved before publication. A camera disguised as a coat button transmitted to officers stationed nearby. A panic signal sat beneath my watch band. The plan was not to extract a confession for entertainment. It was to survive contact long enough for police to arrest them and identify the insider. For 6 nights, nothing happened. On the 7th, I returned home just after midnight. The door appeared locked. Inside, the lamp near the sofa was on. I never left it on. Vanessa stepped from the hallway. She had lost weight. Her eyes were red and dry. A utility knife turned between her fingers. Lena. Her voice sounded scraped raw. Ryan closed the door behind me. He limped on his right leg. An old video camera stood on a tripod in the living room. They wanted a record of my fear. Put your bag down, he said. I obeyed. Vanessa pressed the blade against my neck while Ryan tied my wrists. You turned everyone against us, she said. You killed a child. It was an accident. You left him. Ryan tightened the cord. Stop talking. I looked toward the camera. You escaped a secure transfer. Vanessa smiled. Not secure enough. How? Her pride answered before caution. Ryan has family inside the department. Ryan looked at her. Shut up. She laughed. What does it matter? She won't leave alive. I swallowed. The same person helped with the forged collision records? Vanessa's eyes narrowed. You're trying to make me talk. Ryan adjusted the video camera. Enough. We take her money, film the message, and leave. What message? That guilt drove you to kill yourself. The sentence belonged to my first life. Different method. Same theft. They did not only want my body, they wanted my final words. Vanessa lifted the knife toward my face. A red dot moved across her sleeve. The tactical team had line of sight. Drop the weapon, a voice ordered through the exterior speaker. Vanessa froze. Ryan pulled a handgun from his waistband. The apartment door burst inward. Everything happened at once. Vanessa swung the blade toward my throat. An officer fired. She fell beside the sofa. Ryan raised the gun toward the doorway. Multiple shots struck him before he fired. The room filled with commands, broken glass, and the sharp smell of smoke. Someone cut my wrists free. A medic pressed gauze against the line beneath my jaw. Vanessa died before the ambulance arrived. Ryan was pronounced dead at the hospital. The camera on my coat recorded their statements. Phone records connected the escape to a corrections sergeant who was Ryan's mother's cousin. He had provided the false medical alert and arranged the route change. He was arrested before sunrise. The news called the apartment incident the final act of the Mercer Avenue case. It did not feel final. For years across 2 lives, revenge had given my pain a shape. Ryan and Vanessa were gone. The shape disappeared. What remained was emptiness. I stood at Noah Moore's grave months later with Detective Hale several steps away. The sky was clear. Birds moved through the trees. It's over, he said. I brushed leaves from the base of the stone. No. He waited. The case is over. I looked at the engraved name. Living is next. The first morning after I decided to begin again, I boiled enough noodles for 2 people. Only 1 bowl was needed. My parents had not yet returned from Belmere. The apartment was too quiet. A bullet had cracked the wall near the living room window. The property manager offered to repair it. I had not allowed anyone to touch it. The fracture looked like a scar. Proof that the danger happened. Proof that it ended. My phone rang. Detective Hale. Are you free for breakfast? Did someone else escape? That is not funny. It was a little funny. No. His voice softened. Someone wants to meet you. At a small cafe on the south side of Northbridge. I recognized Helen Moore before she lifted her head. Noah's mother wore a faded gray coat. Silver threaded her dark hair. Both hands gripped an old canvas bag. Detective Hale poured tea, then moved to another table. Helen and I sat facing each other. I'm sorry, she said. Why? At the beginning, I heard the voice message. I saw the pictures. Her fingers tightened around the bag. I believed you killed him. You were given evidence. I hated you. Her eyes filled. I thought if the court didn't punish you enough, I would. In my first life. She stood outside the courthouse and threw a framed photograph at my feet. The glass shattered. A little boy in a blue raincoat smiled from the picture. 1 front tooth missing. For years, I resented the way Helen looked at me. Why wouldn't she listen? Why didn't she believe my screams? Now I saw what the lie had done to both of us. It took her son. Then it gave her the wrong person to hate. You don't owe me an apology. I do. The people who lied are responsible. I still need to say it. She cried quietly. When she could speak again, she opened the canvas bag. Inside was a clear folder of photographs and medical documents. On top sat a small blue toy car with chipped paint. Noah held this when he died. I did not reach for it. It belongs with you. I don't want you to remember a case file. Helen touched the roof of the toy. His name was Noah. He loved dinosaurs. He was afraid of thunder. He only ate egg whites. He wanted to be a traffic officer. My throat closed. Across 2 lives. I knew his age, time of death, impact injuries, distance from the crosswalk. I did not know he hated egg yolks. I held out my hand. I will remember him. She gave me the car. Then she removed an envelope. There is someone else. The letter came from Maria Reyes. Her daughter Ava was 22 and worked as a contracted livestream host for Orbit House Media. 3 months earlier, Ava fell from the roof of company housing. The initial investigation classified her death as suicide linked to long-term depression. Her mother did not believe it. Ava purchased a train ticket home for the following week. Money from an unknown source entered her bank account after her death. 2 days of messages disappeared from her phone. Orbit House produced a mental health document suggesting Ava had been unstable for months. Maria contacted reporters. Nobody wanted the story. Ava was not famous. Orbit House had powerful investors and aggressive lawyers. Helen met Maria through a support group for families of victims. I know you want your life back, Helen said. I do. I wouldn't ask if I knew anyone else. I read the letter twice. The old version of me would have posted a teaser before leaving the cafe. She would have set a trap, recorded secret confrontations, and chased someone into panic. I knew how to use attention as a weapon. That skill had nearly turned me into one. I need to review everything first. Helen's shoulders lowered. I cannot promise a result. Someone reading it carefully is already more than she has. Maria Reyes lived in a narrow house filled with unopened delivery boxes. Each label included a handwritten note. Back brace for Dad. Wool scarf for Mom. Shoes for Mateo. A woman planning to die did not usually arrange gifts for a visit 7 days later. Maria gave me Ava's phone. Police searched it. I need written permission to review devices and accounts. I'll sign. Do not give me passwords verbally. Put them in the authorization package. She nodded. I examined the phone case before turning it on. Behind the clear plastic was a photograph from Orbit House's annual awards dinner. Ava stood beneath a screen that read top streaming revenue. She was not smiling. The operations director beside her had one hand on her shoulder in a way that looked less affectionate than possessive. Water had blurred a message written on the back. If something happens, check the backup. Ava's cloud account had been closed. Her records showed she once sent a portable drive for repair. Using Maria's authorization and a legal preservation request, we contacted the service shop. The owner retained a temporary diagnostic image because the disputed invoice had never been closed. He did not simply hand it to me. My attorney drafted a consent form. Police collected the image under chain of custody procedures. 43 audio files survived. So did a revenue ledger. Orbit House forced young hosts into private sponsor dinners. Refusal caused traffic suppression, withheld pay, and fabricated contract penalties. Ava tried to report the conduct. The operations director threatened her with information about her mother's medical debt and her brother's tuition. The company created a false repayment agreement large enough to trap her. The unexplained money entering her account was not income. It was a payment Orbit House made after her death to create the appearance of a private settlement. The missing 7 minutes of building footage had been replaced with video from the previous day. Ava had not walked to the roof alone. I brought Detective Hale a file organized by source. Authorizations. Original device identifiers. Repair shop records. Hash verification. Audio transcripts. The public portions of the contract. Requests for judicial financial review. He looked through the binders. Did you hack anything? No. Secretly record anyone? No. Stage a confrontation? No. He looked disappointed. You learned procedure. I always understood procedure. You used to treat it as a delay. Sometimes it was. And now? Now I want the evidence to survive me. The case reopened. I did not live stream the arrest. I posted nothing until Northbridge Police announced charges against Orbit House executives and the operations director. Then Spotlight Wire published my report. The headline was plain. Records challenge suicide finding in Orbit House death. I did not repeat Ava's final footage. I did not add crying music. I did not turn Maria's grief into a thumbnail. The report explained how contract debt, platform control, personal intimidation, and manipulated records could trap young workers. At the end, I used a photograph Maria approved. Ava in pajamas, holding a cat, laughing without makeup. Beneath it, I wrote, she was not a content failure or a tragic trend. Her name was Ava Reyes. The article passed 10 million views in 3 hours. In another life, that number would have thrilled me. I closed the screen. Outside my window, children walked home from school. A man pushed a stroller. A woman stopped to tie her dog's leash. The world did not become just because the truth was published. Ava did not return. Noah did not return. But they were no longer anonymous losses inside someone else's narrative. My parents came home from Belmere a week later. My mother cried at the airport and checked my face, hands, and neck. My father pulled 2 suitcases behind him while pretending to be angry. I heard you investigated another case. I wrote an article. Articles require 10 days without dinner? I ate. What? Food. That answer proves nothing. My mother hit his arm. She just got here. If I don't criticize her, she'll put herself in danger again. His voice broke on the final word. He turned away and adjusted the suitcase handle. I hugged him. For a second, he stayed rigid. Then his arms closed around me. Home, he whispered. Yes. This time, all of us. We moved out of the apartment with the bullet scar. The new place was smaller but brighter. My mother filled the balcony with flowers. My father printed every investigation I published and placed the pages in binders. He still criticized my titles. Too restrained. You used to say I was sensational. You overcorrected. Helen visited for dinner. She no longer wore the gray coat. Her hair was dyed a soft brown. Near the community center, she opened a children's traffic safety classroom. Its symbol was a blue toy car. At the opening, a drawing hung on the wall. A crooked police vehicle stood beside a child with an enormous head. Helen smiled. Noah said traffic officers needed big heads so they could remember every bad driver. I laughed. Then I cried. That night, I went to the cemetery with 2 bouquets. One for Noah. One for a memorial dedicated to people whose voices disappeared inside false stories. I set the blue toy car beside Noah's photograph. Your mom is doing better. She teaches children how to cross safely. You wanted to be a traffic officer. She is doing part of that work for you. Wind moved through the branches. I told him about Ava, the backup drive, the cat photograph, the mother who waited until someone looked again. I used to think punishment was the ending. I touched the edge of the stone. It isn't. The dead deserve their names back. The living deserve a future that is more than revenge. My phone vibrated as I reached the cemetery gate. An unknown number. My sister is missing. Everyone says she left voluntarily. I don't believe them. A photograph followed. A young woman with dark curls stood outside a train station. An address appeared beneath it. Once, I would have driven there alone. I would have placed my camera between myself and danger and called that courage. Instead, I called Detective Hale. I received a missing person tip. Verified? No. Good. Good. You called before touching it. I'm forwarding the message. Check whether there is an official report. He was quiet. Lena. Yes? You changed. I looked across the city as lights appeared one building at a time. I finally learned that surviving is not the same as winning. After the call, I replied to the stranger. Send the timeline, last confirmed contact, existing report number, and original messages. Do not delete anything. Do not confront anyone alone. I will verify before publishing. The message sent. I placed the phone in my pocket and walked down the hill. The city lights no longer looked like millions of eyes waiting to judge me. They looked like windows. Behind each one, someone might be waiting for an explanation that had not arrived. I could not save everyone. I would never again pretend I was a lone hero. But I could stand in front of a lie and turn on the light. My name is Lena Ward. Once, people erased it and replaced it with one word. Killer. They built a case around a person who did not exist and nearly buried me inside it forever. I took my name back. From now on, I do not raise my camera for hatred. I raise it for the truth.